Hello, beautiful people. I'm Chris Maddox, founder of the Wild Woman Project and Wild Woman Fest. And I'm speaking to you today because we always meet like this at new moon time. And the new moon is almost here. It arrives on September 17th. And it begins a moon cycle, which will carry us all the way through October 15th. So that period of 29 and a half days is a solid moon cycle. And this is a particularly special one here at the Wild Woman Project because each and every September we choose, we begin, we initiate a new theme, a new series, a deep exploration that we carry for a year. So I have the exciting task of telling you what that is for our September 2020 to September 2021 year. And our new theme for this period of time is called To Wield Love. So to wield as in an instrument, as in a tool, as in a weapon. Love as in the most powerful force on earth. So in these strange, challenging, transformative times where the stakes have seemed to rise and where we see and are experiencing a lot of division, especially in sort of like the public discourse and the political spectrum, which is intimately connected to our material and spiritual lives on earth. At this time where we see, not only in the United States, but all over the world, the rise in sort of hateful fascist movements. It is a time where those of us who stand for love, that is an unconditional love for the human family, an unconditional love for the earth, our home, and an unconditional love for ourselves. Those who care and feel aligned with that kind of love. There's really a call to action in these times, a call for us to get as skillful, as organized, as serious in our loving as we possibly can be, in order to really, kind of survive as a species and heal these divisions and heal these wounds and heal, the damage done to the earth itself. So it is a big project, and I've been sort of talking a lot about this in the year 2020 especially. And, when we, if you're alive right now, and particularly if you're an adult with resources and energy and time, that there is a kind of urgency and a sort of moral responsibility to, in whatever way we feel called, to really live our love. And that means to live our love in our homes, with our families and the people that we share home space with. That is to live our love in our neighborhoods and in our local communities. And that is to live our love in our communication with the world, to live our love in our relationship to the natural world of which we are intrinsically connected to. So there is so much beautiful poetry and mythology both sort of ancient and modern, about the power that love is, and what it can do. I love Dr. King's great line, which is, love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy to a friend. And in these times where reactivity would have us make an enemy out of someone who thinks differently from us, it takes a tremendous amount of courage, skillfulness, restraint, practice in order to respond, not react. So, where there is violence, the answer is not more violence. Where there is hatefulness, the answer is not more hatefulness. So the question really becomes, you know, if love is the most powerful force on earth, and I do believe it is, and the great myths of our time, and even more traditional religions, and certainly more indigenous philosophy and belief systems will point to love is the most powerful force on earth. If that is true, then how do we wield it? How do we channel our love? How do we play it like an instrument and let it play us like an instrument? How do we use love for real, like for real, as a tool in our communication, in our discourse, in our public life, in our private life, in our relationship with ourselves, in our relationship to the earth? How do we wield love? And that is the question that we will be exploring as a community here at the Wild Woman Project for the whole year ahead. And you are invited to, really start this moon cycle here on September 17th, 2020, with some intention around this. If the thought of exploring how to wield love in our lives, personal and transpersonal, calls to you, moves you, that at this new moon, to really align yourself with that, to really sit with that. This is not a question that has like one answer. This is a question whose answer is multidimensional, which is why, even exploring it for a year will not be, a person could explore this for their whole lives and not be done with this topic. But I will start, and I hope that you will start to think about this question, to ask yourself in a really deep and sincere way, how can I become more skillful, more committed to wielding love in the little area of influence that we have access to, the little part of the world that is within our reach? And I think the earth really wants to help us with this, so we can continue to call upon nature, to guide us, to be a source of strength, and to remember, as we do that, there needs to be a reciprocity. So as nature takes care of us, which it does, literally giving us the oxygen to breathe, the water to drink, the material, the raw material to make shelter for ourselves so we can survive, reciprocity asks us to protect our natural home here on earth. So we will begin today on the new moon to explore this theme, to wield love. And we will do it all year long in our monthly Wild Woman School sessions, which are community rituals online, which I guide, We will do this in our network of Wild Woman Project circles that are happening all over the world, both online and in person in 23 countries. We will be exploring this topic in our weekly free newsletter to our community, Wild Woman Weekly-ish, which you can sign up for on our website, right on the homepage. And we'll be looking at this question and with this aim to sort of learn to wield this incredible resource that we have, which is a renewable resource that we can channel constantly with every breath and every word we speak and every moment that we live. We can choose love over hatefulness, which is really usually rooted in some kind of a fear. So each and every moon cycle will sort of be looking at a different slice of this exploration. We're going to focus on, the different ways that love expresses. So in this first moon cycle, our mini theme of the cycle will be love listens. And we're really thinking of this idea of truly holding space externally and inside of ourselves to listen to others. And that includes others we love and respect and want to hear. And that includes others that we disagree with, but need to understand in order to heal in, family dynamics and community dynamics and political dynamics and public life dynamics. Have to really be able to listen in a way that you really understand the person in front of you. And there's something that we do at the beginning of every single Wild Woman Project circle, and it's something that we explore pretty deeply in circle leader training, which is a super simple thing that you can do right now. And in any moment, on any morning, before you go into a meeting, before you step into your car, wherever you're going, before you wake your kids up, or after they wake you up, you can think of kind of breathing into your mind, the mental part of you, the perceiver, which is constantly assessing situations, sort of understanding, putting things into categories, understanding the world around us, the mind, that mental piece. And you can think of with your breath, kind of breathing every exhale, sort of breathing your awareness or that perceiver down, sort of like an elevator ride into your heart center. And that's something you can almost like feel if you really do that. You can sort of feel like one of the things that normally happens for me is like my forehead just softens and relaxes and the skin on my head relaxes. And as I breathe and think of perceiving here in the heart space, there is a sort of grounded in the body kind of wisdom feeling versus listening and perceiving heady, which is sort of like a talking head kind of sensation, which feels more airy. So you can think of on this new moon, sort of playing with that idea in whatever way, and you can get there however you want, but really thinking of almost like you have an eye and ears in your heart. So that as you perceive the world around you, you do that from a deeper space inside. And from, our heart center, this is where we feel love. This is where we feel love for the people that are easy to love. This is where we feel grief whenever we've lost something or someone that we love. So if we listen from the heart space, we can hear more, we can sense more, and we're more in touch with our more intuitive parts of our perception, which is a huge gift. So in any moment, we have the rational mind assessing, and also a sense of intuition that goes with it. Um, Two halves of the same whole, that we have both of those things and access to both. So this new moon, see if you can really drop into your heart and ask yourself, how will I wield love this moon cycle? And how can I listen in a more skillful way, in a more loving way? And then live your life, day by day of the moon cycle. You can just sort of notice. There's a thing that happens, when you make an intention, any kind of intention, and you're sincere in that you'll have the opportunity just by walking through the events of your day, of your week, of your moon cycle to practice and to play. And I always think it's pretty interesting. I always feel like life is trying to help me out and giving me situations where I can really practice that and feel that and observe it in others, and it doesn't always mean it's really easy. A lot of times I'll make an intention and immediately a life circumstance will make a challenge for me to follow through on that intention, which makes for even better practice, So to wield love, and this moon cycle specifically to listen, that'll be our focus. So the first place where you can start to explore this theme is in our network of Wild Woman Project circles that I mentioned before. So depending upon where you are in the world, these circles either happen online or in person. So you'll find those links below this video to the telecircle times, so the ones that are happening online, and then a full list of our in-person circles. And then you'll reach out to each of the facilitators themselves and find a way to attend your local circle. The second way is in Wild Woman School. So our first Wild Woman School session of this new series will be called Waking Love's Power, Inside and Out. And that happens on October 8th. I will guide that. And you can find a link below this video. It's all online. And we offer scholarships for those in financial need. All you have to do is email us. You can find the information linked below this video, but you can expect to do meditation, breath work. There will be music, there will be ritual, there will be community sharing. And it really is a very, very sweet space to tap into your inner guidance and to feel the larger community of like-hearted women around the world. So hope you'll join us for that. And then we have circle leader training coming up. So if the idea of holding space for others and learning how to facilitate meditation and ritual, kind of going deeper into the wild woman archetype and lunar wisdom and, the sort of the art of holding space. If that seems exciting to you, you can join us for Circle Leader Training. So that registration for that will open on September 22nd, which is the day of the equinox, and will actually begin at the first week in November. So that's all online. It's 7 weeks, and it is a very rich space. So you can check the link below this video to learn more about the program and to also hear from other women who have taken the journey. Thank you so much for listening today. And my prayer for the year ahead, at this sort of pivotal time for our species, is that we can, sort of like Mary Oliver wrote, leave some room in our heart for the unimaginable. And I know there's a lot of doom and gloom out there, and there's a lot to be stressed about, and there's a lot of people struggling in this world. And I hope that you remember that there are a lot of people who love, and there are a lot of people who'd be willing to do whatever they can to help other people. And part of the call of the time is really learning how to find those people and how to organize with those people and how to, in different ways in our personal lives and in our public lives, personally and transpersonally, to bring forth love to every corner of our life. So may you remember that you are love and you are loved. And I will see you for another one of these videos on the full moon. Thank you so much.